Are we ready to go? Hello? Good morning, everybody. My name is Doug Gollin, and I'm pleased to be your moderator this morning for our session, The New Normal for Luxury Destinations and Restaurants. Thank you for taking the time to join us, and we'll try and make the next 45 minutes informative and interesting. I think it goes without saying that we're for the travel industry, the worst crisis since World War II. The industry's been gravely affected before the crisis. 1 in 10 jobs worldwide were connected to travel. And as of last week in the United States, airline travel was down 90%. There's huge questions about how long it's going to take for the airlines to restore service. CEOs of the major airlines have all said that it could be as long as 3 years. And so, while there's domestic tourism, international tourism is important to most destinations. And Thailand has been one of the most successful countries globally in attracting international tourists for all the reasons we know: the amazing culture, the heritage, the terrific beaches, the nature, the luxury hotels, the resorts, the spas, the shopping. And so this morning we have with us a very esteemed panel of all-star leaders in the world tourism industry and key players from Thailand. So let me first introduce our panelists. We have the governor of the Tourism Authority of Thailand, Khun Yusasak. We have Deepak Ori. Deepak is the CEO of Labua Hotels and Resorts and is recognized globally for his innovation. If you've eaten at a restaurant at the top of a skyscraper, it's probably because of Deepak. He was one of the originators of the concept and helped popularize it. And then we have from one of Thailand's great guilty pleasures, I guess, or maybe not a guilty pleasure, shopping. And from the major shopping mecca of Thailand, we have Khun Maori of the Icon Siam group. So thank you very much for taking the time this morning. We only have 45 minutes, so I'd like to jump right in. And to start, I'm going to go around the panel and start with the governor. But the question maybe each of you can share a little bit with the audience is, what has the impact been for your organizations and your constituency? It's varied quite a bit. Some places have been more impacted than others. And then without jumping too far ahead, maybe talk a little bit about how your organization has started to adapt to the new normal and what's changing in terms of some of your thinking. Who is going to be the customer for the future? Thailand, part of the fun part about coming to Bangkok is the hustle and bustle. But is that going to be the future of tourism to Thailand? So without further ado, Governor, maybe you can give us an update from your perspective at the TAT.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's my pleasure to be with yours, and today it's an honor for the TAT to discuss some matter with you today. As you know, the COVID-19 may be the worst that Thai tourism industry has experienced. We experienced negative impact in the past, but this time I think this is the worst. And last year we welcomed about 40 million international arrival back to Thailand. But this year we have to, lock down, and we close our sky since the beginning of the April. So now we foresee that the situation will be improved over time, and we expect that international arrival will come by the fourth quarter of this year. And for the change, my organization, Tourism Authority of Thailand, have we work for 60 years since the for the marketing Thailand for the preferred destination, and this time we have to adapt due to the COVID-19. And I think that after the COVID-19, we will focus more on quality, not quantity, because I think that the demand for traveling, I think that will come back, but step by step. It's not, back to normal, sooner. So I think that we have focused. And you asked about who will be potential customer for Thailand. I think we are focused more on, for luxury market, and due to that, the management of the government, the Thai government, they can control, the COVID-19 situation that will be that is recognized by the WHO and the people around the world. So we want to welcome more the medical tourists to Thailand due to this this situation, and we will also focus on more responsible tourism that that friendly for not only for the economy but friendly for the society and the environment as well. That's my perspective that changed after the COVID-19. Back to you.
Thank you, Governor. Kun Maori, would you like to maybe give us an update on what's happening with shopping and the luxury mall scene in Thailand, please?
Good morning, everyone. It's actually my pleasure to be here this morning, and I think if you're talking about shopping mall, we are the first one that got hit. Actually, it was hit since February, even before the closure of the mall. And we were forced to close the shopping mall started March 17, So I think this is the worst time of the year. And it's especially we started with a good year, in January. And the graph went up very high. But from the COVID-19, I think it's really bad situation for the shopping mall because people got so panicked and afraid to come out from their home. So it's actually not for us, but also for the tenants who are in the shopping malls, and also to the workers and employees, got hit so hard. We had a very low graph in terms of customer traffic started February onwards, and we did reopen again in May, but still was bad, because we lost 30% of the tourists who didn't have a chance to come to Bangkok. And at the same time, the locals are very scared of coming to shop in the shopping mall. So the retail industry got hurt pretty much. But the graph is picking up, this for the past 2 weeks. At the beginning, we had about 20% of the traffic from the normal traffic who came to the shopping mall, and they spend less time. They came in and shop and then they go home, just for necessary things. But for fashion brands and for other brands like industry at other segment, it's that less priority to come and shop. So I think it's coming back soon, but it's slowly coming back, and hopefully that we will have the full capacity by the end of this year. So this is the whole retail situation now for the time being.
Thank you very much. Kun Deepak, could you you're involved in obviously both hotel and fine dining and also fun dining, and I think you have, what is it, about 20 restaurants and bars? 12. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of you, but maybe you could talk to us a little bit about where you are right now, and then what you're planning for the future to accommodate the changes that are going to need to take place.
Good morning to everyone. Thank you, Doug. And good morning to my fellow participants, His Excellency the Governor, Kun Mayuri. So nice to be with all of you. So before I talk about luxury, I want to talk about a very general point, because besides me being in hospitality, it's my hobby to teach behavioral analysis. Okay, and that's how we had begun our journey at Labu also. Now, what has happened this time in a year is pandemic, and the last pandemic was 100 years back. But somehow, strangely, to teach behavioral analysis, strangely we had begun our journey at. Strangely, we have actually not been able to effectively handle this pandemic, because in this pandemic, the fear among people is much higher than the disease itself. And the reason fear is so high is because we took the big data in isolation. Normally, the big data should be combined with customer-to-customer interaction or people-to-people interaction. And that's where I think we faulted in general, point number one. Point number two, coming to us at Labua, yes, we were doing well. There's a saying in whole of Thailand that if you go to Sirocco or Sky Bar and it is empty, you can very well imagine the whole Thailand would be empty. So we were doing very well, at least at Sirocco and Sky Bar, until the day we closed. And the day we closed was 23rd of March. So until 22nd, we had seen the decline in our hotel occupancy, in our other restaurant, except Sirocco and Sky Bar. And we are not open yet. We plan to open on 3rd of July. We are thankful to Tourism Authority of Thailand, not because, and Ministry of Tourism and Government of Thailand, not because he is one of the panelists, but because many countries, we have seen a lack of private and public sector partnership. And I think the government in Thailand not only effectively handled the pandemic, but they effectively handled the people's perception and fear, and private businesses also, and the employees also. So I would say it was a great handling of the government. We are opening on 3rd July. Because of the government's initiative, before we put it on our website, we had almost, we normally do 1,200 people. In a day, we had 40 reservations in our restaurants. Our occupancy on book was 8%. When the government announced that the alcohol will be allowed, that is 2 days back, we have seen a 5% increase in business on books in a hotel, and our 40 people reservation has jumped in 1.5 days to 100 people. We have also started something like to create, not to go and serve people at their home, to create confidence of bringing hotel to people's home. One thing which I would like to address to all the customers who are listening right now is that we are at a luxury, and luxury is simplicity, and we have always given everyone a hygiene environment. But we have tied up, we are the only hotel which has tied up with one of the leading hospitals here in Thailand, not to create hygiene, but to create and ensure there is no cross-contamination. And we are actually, when we are serving our customers and the customers are entering our property, we both are in safe environment. And that's what I have to say. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Kun Deepak. Maybe back to the governor, because I know we have a lot of international participants in the webinar, and Thailand. I'll say that I've been to your country over 50 times, so I'm sure people have been there more. But I'm not alone, as you mentioned, 40 million visitors a year. You talked about the move to luxury. So, is there anything you can talk about at this point in terms of, what that means in terms of access, with the airlines, and then also promotion, and Thailand has always been very innovative with your VIP Thailand and Thailand Elite program. So I don't know if you could share anything that you have in store for us this morning.
Okay, Doc. For the accessibility to Thailand, now we work with very hard. On it. We have the monitor the situation, the epidemic overseas in order to form the a tourism bubble, travel bubble in Thailand. And I think that we can see something happen a couple of months from now on. And for the accessibility, I think that we have the limitation of the airline that come to Thailand due to the closing the sky. But if we, as I mentioned earlier about the new normal, luxury is one of the new normal that we can see in the future. And I think that for the private jet, that I think that one is an alternative for the people, especially for the luxury market to come to Thailand. And I think that if they are the business traveler, I think that they will be the first group to come to Thailand under the travel bubble. And we are so far we have many requests from China, Japan, and many countries about that. The sooner that we can go to Thailand by the private jet. I think that the private jets will be one of the kind that we want to promote in the after the COVID-19.
Great. So are you saying that there could be a as opposed to just the bubbles for specific countries, there could be a bubble for people who come by private jet, that they would be able to come to Thailand sooner than maybe general arrivals from that country? Is that possible?
Yes, that's possible, Chap. I think that if we form the travel bubble, and I said the specific group, that among of them there are two groups that will be open for them. One is the business traveler, and the second one is the medical tourist.
Right.
And if they come by the private jet, is more welcome. More than happy to see them in Thailand very soon.
Great. So get your private jet ready, right?
Yeah.
Kun Maori. So since we have some people coming to Thailand, international visitors, private jets, and otherwise, are there some things that you're implementing in your malls, social distancing or anything else that will make that customer more comfortable? And obviously, shopping is part of the travel experience. So, are there things that somebody like yourself, your company, can do to make those people want to come and shop while they're visiting Thailand?
Yes, I would say welcome to the land of smile, and shopping mall is to bring you the happiness. When we have visitors from abroad, we will make sure and ensure that they are safe in this country, especially in Thailand, and we have already been proof to the whole world that we've been able to manage very well in terms of the COVID-19 during the past 2 months. So it is now an obligatory practice for us for the shopping mall to build customer trust, and at the same time, to make them feel that they are safe. So all the measurements and everything we had done before the COVID-19 in terms of safety, and not just the safety alone, but to make sure that they are healthy in the healthy place. So we have the general measurements according to the government and do all the practice. So when you come into the properties of the Siam Pivat Group, which is the Icon Siam, Siam Center, Siam Discovery, and Siam Paragon, we make sure that we ensure that we have social distancing, but you still get the same experience as before. So everything has been promote in all communications before they come to Thailand and before they come to our property. So all the floor makers, the temperature measure and everything is the basic normal that it's a new normal that we have to do. And for the past month that we've been open, we had no incident of the people or even our employee who got COVID at all. So it's 0 case happened in our property, and I think it's already been approved. That we had a very good control, and at the same time, it's the measurements that we have been done for the employee, for the customers, and also for the workers who have been work in the property, all of them.
Great, thank you, Kun Miori. Kun Deepak, your restaurants are famous for being full. Lots of people having a good time. But what will we find when we come up next time I come to State Tower? What will the restaurant scene be like? What's the plan to make people comfortable? How and obviously part of your dining is outside, so I guess that's a positive. But where do you see the future of fine dining?
So when people land in Thailand, any part of Thailand, they're already comfortable. So our restaurants will add to that when they come to our restaurants. So the new change that is going to happen is we'll see a reduced seating. Okay, but the dining hall would still look occupied. And also we will see we have 2 Michelin star restaurants. One is 2-star, one is 1-star. We'll see a less number of visits to the table by our employees. Like if we are going to a table 12 times pre-COVID, we will be going 9 times. So those visits would be a little bit less without compromising the experience. So 2 or 3 things, and I actually agree with the governor what he said, is that luxury is going to be there. The experience that people are going to have, what the people we are going to see right now are the people who really want to immerse themselves in the destination. It's like complete immersion. Before, the length of stay in Bangkok used to be 1.8 days. I had a private chat with the governor, so I can say that we think that it will be 2.4 days now. We also believe that like our bars would do 700 customers a day. We're not going to do that number anymore. We will do 200 people in our bars, but the drinks that the guest was having 1 drink per person will change to 3 drinks per person. So it will be a real luxury that will be seen coming back. I completely disagree. There have been lately lot of news that fine dining has gone. If we see our data right now, without our opening our business for mezzaluna and chef table, we have a lot of reservations in these restaurants. People like to come back. I've seen one word that is going called revenge shopping. I will not call it revenge shopping or revenge spending. I'll call it appropriate. I think the choice of words has to be put in the right context. So in context to Thailand, there's nothing called revenge. It's pleasure when we say Thailand. When it comes to spending, it will be appropriate spending. Thanks, Doug.
Governor, just going back to you, I think, we've covered obviously luxury shopping, some fine dining and hospitality. But what about Thailand's attractions? Will we now need to make appointments to see some of the famous temples and other attractions? Are there any plans to regulate the number of visitors who can come on one day? And then, if that's the case, Kun Deepak said about people staying a little bit longer. Will that be the result that people stay longer when they visit Thailand? What are your thoughts about actually visiting some of the attractions? How will that change?
Yeah, Doc, I think it's normal for a new normal that the people are trying to get used to. if you want to go somewhere else. In the past, you can go if you want to go, but now we have to plan ahead. I mean, and before the COVID-19 or after, during the COVID-19, I think that they have limitation in many issues, like limitation of the people, limitation on the to make the journey, and limitation for the people to gathering. Now, if if lifted, but still on the two conditions. It's about the social distancing and a limitation of the people, because we try to avoid the crowdedness. And now the Thai government, the TAT, support the startup to use like application for people to make the reservation where they want to go, and we try to apply for the most attraction in Thailand. And last week we have a very good meeting with the Ministry of that in charge of the for the national park. Even for the zoo, if you want to go to the zoo, you have to register ahead. That I think is now the normal is. But I think that the people tend to go somewhere they are more confident about the safety, and they tend to stay longer because they have to plan ahead. And I agree with Kun Dipak that people tend to stay longer and spend more. I don't use the revenge spending, but appropriate spending after they lock out, stay at home for quite a long time, and they want to go again. Not only the restaurant, not only the shopping mall, but everywhere in Thailand. But you have to plan ahead and confident to go, stay longer, and the TAT will support them to further make them stay longer and make them stay go easier in order to make people move again in Thailand start from July.
Governor, I'd like to stay with you because we have a question from the audience, and the question is if you could comment about the international arrivals process. How will that change?
I think that there are some discussion about the protocol when the international arrival comes to Thailand, and I think that we need time, and I think that we try to make it simple as it can in order to allow them to come to Thailand. Frankly speak, there are some worry in some group of people in Thailand still, to delay the arrival of international arrival to Thailand. So, but I can say right now, it's about I try to make it very simple in order to bring them back.
Great, thank you. Deepak, I'd like to ask this to you, but maybe the governor can comment also. Spa tourism, Thailand is known for some of the best spas and spa resorts in the world. And, when you think about social distancing, I'm not sure how you could social distance and get a massage. What impact will this have on spa tourism? Where do you see the future of spa tourism?
I think spa tourism has to improvise. I won't say innovate. And maybe we should take certain expertise from Japan, like hot tubs massage. We put like cold water massage, hot water massage, or we do stone massage tubs, things like that. So those kind of things will bring confidence to the people. See, the whole thing is all about confidence. When Thailand, now I'm talking about the evolution of Thailand during this time until today, people would go out on the street with masks. Now we see people are not wearing masks, they're getting confidence. It is more of a mind game. A pandemic best described is 30% disease, 70% fear. And what we are doing right now in our own field, like governor for the whole of Thailand, me for hospitality and restaurant, Kun Mayuri for shopping mall, is trying to create a confidence among consumers so that they don't have that fear. We are not saying none of us on the panel can get the vaccine, But at least if we can improve that 70% part of pandemic, we are the winner. And that's where the spa comes in. That's where I just saw a question where they said, what will you do if there are 300 people for breakfast? So for 300 people for breakfast, there has to be times they have to reserve in advance, because it is not going to be you wake up and you go. So everything, what we need to do is, luxury is not that you start from day one. It's a baby steps. So we are going to take small baby steps where the fear is going and luxury is improving. So this is what is going to happen. We are not going to open in July and suddenly go back to pre-COVID days. But if we are opening in July, we follow the protocol, we work along with the government. What we are going to see is that by October, we are safe, and we have created a confidence among the world that it is safer to travel to Thailand, and they will come. And that is what I will say. So this is, in this box, I'll put spa. Spa for some period of time have to improvise. This is where I will answer the gentleman who asked me this question about 300 people breakfast. This is what we are going to talk about, all the customers who are coming for luxury, because now what is going to be seen is a real luxury that is going to come. It's no more going to be social media luxury, that you're going to the restaurants, you're going to the spots just to put a photograph on your IG.
Great. Governor, do you want to maybe talk a little bit about the spa tourism industry? And then we also had a question about domestic versus international travel. So maybe you'd like to cover both of those issues.
Yeah, I am for the spa industry. I think that is the the main attraction for the international tourists that come to Thailand in the past. I think that we improve. We talk with the Ministry of Public Health about the setting for the people to be more confident to go to the spa. And I think that now we just open some spa service, and I think that we will see monitor the situation that is not any case. I think that will be fully open for the spa, and but that you make sure that we are very concerned about the safety and hygiene in our spa industry. And you said about the service in the hotel, in the luxury restaurant. I think that we have to back to the basic, that luxury is not something about many people. We can control them, because under the new normal, I think that the small is beautiful, luxury is more beautiful. So I think that luxury is the way that we handle people quality. So I think it's the way that it should be for the Thai tourism. Forget about the past, forget about the image or the crowded people go to Thailand. After arrive at the international airport and Suvarnabhumi, they have to wait for 2 hours. I think it's all gone because now the limitation of the people that come to by international airline very small. So now I have to thinking about the new normal, the image of the Thailand, that we will focus on the luxury, and that and I agree with Deepak as well about the immersive experience that come to Thailand through the luxury, even both restaurant and destination in Thailand.
Thank you, Kun Maori. Both the governor and Kun Deepak have mentioned about a little bit more structure. Making a reservation for breakfast instead of just going down, or reservation times for the zoo. Is that going to be the same for shopping? Am I going to have to make a reservation to go visit, Hermes or Dior, or just to come to the mall? Is that something that you're looking at?
Yeah, I think I totally agree with both of them, because people, the behavior of people will change, under the new normal situation. People will concern more about their health. They use more digital technology more and more. And the best and the most important thing that we gain from the COVID, the pandemic, is that people will have more empathy to each other. So the behavior of this will move towards to their lifestyle under the new normal. And I think they will have, hopefully, they will with this, they will have more collaborations with each other, helping each other, and their behavior will shape the new retail landscape to more collaborations through the digital culture. And I think the digital will be a player in this retail industry or the new normal lifestyle, pretty much. And I think for coming to shopping mall, we are lucky because we have a large space. We can cater lots of people based on the general guideline from the government. So far, we don't have to have a long queue, to get into the shopping mall. And also we use digital to help the customer before they come to the shopping mall, to prepare their shopping ahead of time. And it's at the end, we have a very high, in terms of conversion, we have it higher than before. So hopefully people has time to prepare and study about the story of the product that they want to come and purchase in the shopping mall. And they don't need to spend a lot of time in the shopping mall for window shopping or for other things, but they really come in to purchase.
So with a real mission, a mission to buy.
Yes.
And just to stay with you for a second, Kunmeori, what about like VIP shopping services? Do you see more of that where you might have somebody from your company who would assist international visitors who want to go and visit separate shops to arrange private visits?
At our shopping malls we have VIP ambassador ladies who can help, ahead of time. And like I said, digital is a big player into this new normal lifestyle. We launched the mobile application for all the customer in the world that can load the mobile before they come into Thailand, and to understand and study about the shopping mall before ahead of time, before the arrival, so they know us, they know where to shop, and they can contact our ambassador ahead of time. We have about 7 languages of our staff who can speak in all 7 languages, so they can get our service ahead of time, and also they don't need to come in and walk around and get lost in the shopping mall. We also have not just the digital, but also in the store ladies who can help them.
Great, thank you very much. We're starting to come down to the end, so I want to go at least once around to the group, and get each of you to maybe give us your perspective, any messages to the industry, not necessarily Thailand, but we've seen a lot of things going on. Obviously, there've been layoffs and furloughs. Different companies have handled the crisis differently. I just saw a study of a survey actually of Fortune 500 CEOs, and they asked about the timing for the recovery of corporate travel, of business travel. And I think it was 51% of these CEOs said that business travel, in their estimation, will never recover to the levels that it was. So there's a lot of turmoil in the industry right now. So maybe, Governor, could we start with you? And what's your message to our colleagues in the industry, with other tourism boards in other countries and around the world?
Yeah, I can say that don't give up. I mean, I believe that tourism will come back and come back stronger. You can look at the past. For the Thai tourism industry in particular, we experienced start from SARS, MERS, tsunami, And every time we come back stronger. And this time I still believe like this. And we can, send this message to the people around, our colleague in the same industry, that don't give up. But we have to try to, adapt. We have to do something under the new normal that, make people traveling again. I can say that somebody said that traveling is not necessity thing in the life, but I believe it's not necessity, but it's necessity for the people to traveling again. You can see in Thailand, for example, we locked down, we stayed at home for 2 months, but when on the weekend, people rush to the seaside that very close to Bangkok in Bang San, and still believe when people eat, when people go traveling again, people will move. But under the new normal, don't give up. Try the new thing. Focus on what you are going to do. I think that we'll come back again stronger.
Great, thank you very much, Kun Maori. What shopping is a universal sport. So what message would you have in terms of just the global industry to your colleagues in the travel industry? Any messages?
For us, we believe that you cannot be stuck in your home for a long time. No one can be at home without going out to their home for 5 days, 7 days. They need to come out for experiences. And I also believe, in line with the governor, that traveling will come back, but we have to be patient and live with it, and how to handle it in a safety way. So people are looking for experiences. They want to get to know new things. They want to come out and have their real experience instead of through the digital, through the screen. People still want to meet each other. They need to have a social place to go. We were locked down for the past 2 months, and there were very high complaint that they couldn't go to the same restaurant, sit on the same table. That's a good sign for me that is the need that people want to have. But like under the new normal, we have to manage it well and cope with it. And for Thailand, we've been suffer so many incidents, especially for the shopping mall. Is the first place that got a very high impact, but we live with it, and so far we prove that we can survive. But for the time being, like I say, we need to have an empathy to each other. We need good collaborations between customer and tenants, and also with the shopping malls and the government. And also together, I think we will win, and we will be able to win against the pandemic. After we have a good, like one company, seems that we have good teamwork, and we have to work together as one and bring the whole world back, not just for Thailand, but for the whole world and for the people in this world, who has been suffer a lot for the past 2 or 3 months or even longer. But I'm very sure that we, as a human being, we are very tough and will be over this. And so far, I see the growth of it very strong, and definitely with this, people will fight together and be able to, right now, every countries are working on the vaccine. So you couldn't see the vaccine within 3 months, 6 months, But hopefully by the end of this year or next year, we will be able to have the vaccine. So it's a good sign, for people to have hope. So when you have hope, you definitely will win. So this is my opinion.
It's a very, very inspirational statement for a Monday morning. So you're getting us off to a great week, Kun Maori. Kun Deepak, any messages for the industry that you'd like to share? Obviously, fine dining, yes, food, but hospitality and what you do, it's also about the people who deliver the experience. So is there anything that you'd like to share with us?
Sure, definitely, Doug. And before I share that, I want to answer two questions. The two questions that are there by the people who are watching us is whether the COVID-19 can be spread through the food. The answer is no. Second is, how do they come to 64th floor at 7 p.m. when there's a lot of rush? We have all the protocols in place and there's complete safe distancing, so they don't have to worry about that. Now, these are the two things. Now, I have a very pressing question. You have asked me a question and they say, never answer a question with another question. But this is a question for every hospitality CEO in the world. And through this medium, I want to ask them this question. But before I ask this question, I want to put three research that has 3 points that has come out of the Fortune 500 companies research. So they researched the Fortune 500 CEOs and they asked how many percentage of the company or the CEOs have laid off people. 58% said not a single employee of Fortune 500 company. The second question was that would you adjust the salaries of the people? 50% said yes. Third question was, I don't know the exact question, but the question meant was, what is the most important point for every CEO of Fortune 500 companies? And almost 60% said the employees' employment and their survival. Now, my question, now this I put the facts on the table, and my question that I'm going to put, a man in the position of a CEO of a hospitality business, how do you evaluate, is a question to every CEO, how do you evaluate the risk of letting people go? The only foundation that has made your company so successful, because it is a service business and purely based on probability, not on anything else, but based on probability. How can you let the only foundation of your business slip through your hand? This is a fascinating question to every CEO of hospitality business in the world. That's it.
And what would your answer be, Kun Deepak, since you asked the question?
At Lobo, I think we are very grateful to our owner and to the team. We have not let a single employee go. Okay, so saying that, we follow the practice also. We have not let, not because of anything else, but because our conscience won't allow this to happen.
Well, I think you'll be rewarded. I think people will remember that. We're at the end of our 45 minutes. So in addition to thanking our three esteemed panelists, I think the one thing I took away from your comments is that this recovery is going to be different than the typical travel recoveries, which, typically when travel gets into a crisis, the answer is low prices and deals and price it so cheap that you can't afford to stay home. But it sounds like luxury is going to be the dominant player in the long haul market. Talking to people who really, have both the time and the money to travel to long haul destinations, and perhaps the budget traveler is going to be more regional within North America, within Europe, and it's going to be a while until the airlines build their flights back, till we start to see the masses of tourism again. But I just want to thank all three of you. Great comments, great insights, and the one thing that I know is both the global industry and Thailand's tourism industry will be back stronger than ever. So thank you very much. And thank you everyone for taking some time this morning or afternoon or wherever you happen to be to tune into us. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. Sorry, Kha. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Doc, for doing it so late. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Thank you, Kun Mayuri.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.